WMBC, here for another devotional this Wednesday. I don't know about you, but this Easter felt a little bit weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was good. I had great experience of Good Friday doing communion with a lot of you. And then Easter Sunday, we got to spend with our family, my wife and daughter. And that was good, but it felt not empty, but it felt a little strange, a little off. And Easter Monday didn't feel like a new beginning like it has in years past. It kind of felt like more of the same, right? A lot of what I had been doing over the last few days just continued. And I kind of felt like I was waiting for something different, something new, and didn't quite get there. And I feel like that's something that I have in common with Jesus' disciples. You read in the book of Acts, right? So Jesus has appeared to his disciples. He's ascended back into heaven, and they stand around like staring into the sky, waiting for him to come back. And then some angels come and tell them, hey, like, he's not coming back now. Your job is not to sit and wait and look. You've got other things to do. And so then they go back to Jerusalem, and they figure out who's going to replace Judas as a disciple. But then they wait for 50 days between that and Pentecost. And I mean, what are they doing? Like, you've had this incredible experience with Jesus, this huge climax of him showing off against, or having a showdown rather, against the religious leaders, and then he dies, but he comes back to life, and now like there's this, like the kingdom is starting, but what, like when? And I know it happened already, but like, what am I supposed to do? And Jesus, like, he said he's going to send somebody, right? And so there must have been this kind of like, when is it happening? Like, am I supposed to do something, or am I waiting? Like, what can I do? It would have felt a little strange, a little weird. And so eventually, right, at Pentecost, the Spirit comes, and it enlivens them, and it wakes them up, and it moves them out, right? Instead of being stuck in one place, the disciples go out from there. And I want to challenge you, even though it may feel like nothing's changed, over the Easter season, that things, you're waiting for something new to happen, or it's more of the same. I don't think that's true, right? I think that after Easter, everything changed. And we have this gift and this responsibility to be able to live out the kingdom of God and show people what that looks like. And so I want to challenge you to get creative. What does it look like for you to live out the kingdom of God and show people what that looks like this week after Easter, when just like the disciples, we have this opportunity to start moving the kingdom of God forward into new places and new ways. And in the midst of a pandemic, you can't do a lot of the things you might want to do to make that happen. But how do you, like things like volunteering, reaching out to Co-op or Central Station, find out what ways there are that you can volunteer for people. How can you care for others through phone calls or writing letters, right? How can you show people that you're remembering that they're there, that you do love them, you do care for them. Not everyone is forgetting them during this time when people are isolated. That's what the kingdom is about. Love and the compassion that we have for people, this upside down way of doing things, where we don't just look out for ourselves, we look out for other people. We don't just focus on our own needs, we focus on the needs of others, right? The powerful are the people who serve. So what does it look like for you to engage with the kingdom of God this week, even though it might not feel like something new is happening? I promise you, something new is happening, and I think it's going to happen through you. God bless.